Meanwhile, this shutdown averted, Congress passing a stopgap bill to fund the government through February 18th. The spending bill now heads to President Biden's desk for his signature. Joining us now, Georgia Congressman Barry Loudermilk. Also, Drew Ferguson is joining us as well. Congressman, thanks you both for being here today. Great to have this conversation going on. The House, as we know, passing the stopgap bill 221 to 212. You both voted no, along with all Republicans except for Congressman Adam Kinzinger. So, Rep. Loudermilk, tell me why you voted no on this.
Well, because we're not doing the job by law that we're supposed to be doing. Now, this is a continuation of the last Trump budget, which is something that's ironic that Nancy Pelosi was pushing. We need to just continue Republican level spending. But I have always voted against these continuing resolutions because by law, we're supposed to have done this by the end of September. And of the entire time I've been in Congress, 7 years, we have yet to do our job in Congress and appropriate by the deadline. And we can't keep kicking the can down the road, creating artificial deadlines just so we can pump more money into the budget that is already excessively in debt.
The spending bill includes $7 billion for assisting evacuees from Afghanistan, but it's missing some key components as well. Critics have pointed out it's missing funding for the border or immigration policy reforms as well. Would you agree with that, Rep. Ferguson?
Yeah, look, this entire process is broken. And what Congress is doing under Democrat leadership is that they're failing the American people. They continue to push these radical big government spending ideas that are wrong for America. And yet at the same time, they're doing nothing to keep Americans safe. People want to go to work. They want to come home to a decent, safe place to live. They want their kids educated, and they want to be left alone. And right now, the Democrats are violating that on every front, and their lack of ability to manage the floor, to get a budget across, to prioritize spending is just mind-boggling. And for Biden to claim that Build Back Better is going to help inflation, that's like saying that pouring a can of gas on a burning fire is going to squelch the fire. It is just flat wrong.
And you know what? This comes at a time where we are recognizing the cost of inflation as well. It's a 30-year record high at this point. Talk to me, Congressman Loudermilk, about how that is influencing the people of Georgia.
Well, fortunately, Georgia's not being impacted as much as several other states because we are run by conservative Republicans who have done policies that put the power back in the pockets of the people. We respect individual liberty. So as you remember, during the pandemic, Governor Kemp quickly reopened the limited shutdown that he had imposed, very limited shutdown, but reopened our economy. And by August, government revenues had already exceeded the 2019 revenues. Our unemployment rate in Georgia right now is the lowest in history. However, because of the national policies that are driving up inflation, it is affecting every Georgian. It is inflation is taxation on regular people, myself, everyone else. Americans are paying more, getting less, and waiting longer because of three people: President Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. That is the reason that we are having the economic issues and the employment issues we're having right now.
And at the same time, as you point out, Americans are noticing it when they go to the gas station and they fill up their tank. The DCC also noticed it as well, Democratic Congressional Committee campaign here. They tweeted this out there. They said it was positive because they wanted to thank Joe Biden. Along with a graphic, it praises the commander-in-chief for lowering gas prices by a whopping 2 cents. If you look at the y-axis there, you kind of got to zoom in. It looks good from far back. But Congressman Ferguson, when you take a closer look, they're praising the president, and this is not sarcastically or ironically, this is serious, for 2 cents there. Is this really a win for the American people?
No, this is not a win for the American people. And if it wasn't so bad for American families right now, I would just simply laugh at that. America has lost confidence in this administration. America doesn't trust this administration. America doesn't trust big government Democrats anymore that are going down this socialist path. And that graphic that you just put up is a perfect example why. Do they really think they are that much smarter than the American people? How dare they? Look, America is tired of this. They're pushing back against it. This whole thing is a sham. The president has lost control of the White House. Pelosi has lost control of the House floor. Schumer was never in control of the Senate. Chaos on the other side. America wants to return to growth and to individual freedom and liberty. And I'll tell you what, Georgia has been an example of how to do that. We're going to continue to lead, and we're going to continue to put Georgians first, and we're going to do it at home, and we're going to do it in D.C.
Well, I did want to ask you, Congressman Loudermilk, about what's happening in Georgia. We just heard news that Stacey Abrams will be running for governor in the state. If you could just react to that announcement.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Look, the enthusiasm of Democrats is at an all-time low right now because even they realize what this administration is doing to our economy. They're doing to their pocketbooks and, quite frankly, ruining their Christmas. This is like the ultimate Grinch. And they needed something to draw out Democrats in Georgia. Brian Kemp has done a phenomenal job as governor of Georgia, restoring our economy, standing up to the federal government, its mandates. And so I think it's an uphill battle for the Democrats. They own this economy. They own the inflation. They own the gas prices. And they own the supply chain problems that we're having right now. This is on their backs. They're struggling. The poll numbers are showing that people are turning back to pro-liberty, pro-business Republicans in droves.
You know what? This all comes at a time, of course, as we're looking forward to the midterm elections. We'll be watching all those campaigns play out. But this, again, is happening as we're learning more about this new variant of the coronavirus, the Omicron variant. It's been discovered in several states across the country. The president announced his plan to combat it, his so-called winter plan. Here's what he had to say.
I know COVID-19 has been very divisive in this country. It's become a political issue, which is a sad, sad commentary. It shouldn't be, but it has been. Now, as we move into the winter and face the challenges of this new variant, this is a moment we can put the divisiveness behind us, I hope. This is a moment we can do what we haven't been able to do enough of through this whole pandemic.
And he laid out his plan for more boosters, some tests for international travel, and then test reimbursement through your insurance companies as well. Rep. Ferguson, are you hopeful that politics will now be taken out of this pandemic?
Well, I would like for it to be taken out, but listen, what we've seen with the Democrat leadership is that it's politics all the time when it comes to Americans' health. And they're going to continue to go down these roads. They're continuing to push for vaccine mandates. You know, Americans should go and talk to their healthcare professionals and make an informed decision about whether or not the vaccine is right for them. But having the federal government tell them what they have to do is flat wrong, and we're going to fight that every step of the way. But no, what the administration is doing is that they are pretending like they are taking a guarded approach to this when in fact they're going down the same road, pushing the same policies. We have got to realize we cannot vaccinate our way out of this COVID pandemic. What we must do is focus on therapeutics and recognize that if you look at the cases that have been diagnosed, people with this Omicron variant, they have either been asymptomatic or very mild symptoms. Why in the world are we going to go down the road of shutting down the economy and using the pandemic as an excuse for the failures of this administration? Enough is enough. Americans are tired of this. They want safe neighborhoods. They want good schools. They want great jobs to go to, and they want to be left alone. They're tired of the federal government telling them what to do.
We've heard mild cases so far, even a case that has resolved itself from those symptoms already. So that seems to be quite positive. Congressman Barry Loudermilk and Congressman Drew Ferguson, both from Georgia, thank you so much for joining us this Friday. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks.